Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here I'm going to be giving you guys the top 5 best teams of the month for the month of May, where we'll be closing out the month at the start of the 6th anniversary. The anniversary is looking crazy right now, most probably the best start to an anniversary you've ever got, and I'm pretty sure most people have already made the conclusion that this anniversary is the best ever just because of the part 1. We've got this new fusing Super Vegito alongside a fusing Gogeta Blue, 2 fusion warriors that fuse in part 1. Absolutely insane, never seen before. So you know this video is going to be lit, but before I get into this video I want to make the disclaimer that this video does not have an order to it, and what I mean by that is that every team in this video could be in a different order. So just because I mention a certain team first doesn't mean they're better than the second team, etc, etc. Any team in any order could be number 1. I might specify in the video, but you can order it yourself if you'd like to in the comment section below. That's all I've got to say for this intro, man. Let's get straight into this video. Alright, so the first team we're going to be talking about is Fusion Warriors. It's only right we mention Fusion Warriors given that they've had an insane come up with the new 2 releases, Fusing Gogeta Blue and Fusing Super Vegito. Absolutely insane releases, and they're both top 1, top 2 units. I'm going to go into what I've got in this team. So I've got Pycon on the leader slot. Having a revival unit is super good, and I don't know why his background's glitching, but whatever. We've also got Gogeta Blue, of course. We've got Super Vegito, of course. Super Vegito has 1-time Zenkai buff, but I've given Gogeta Blue 2 Zenkai buffs because one of them is also a HP buff, which is Gold Tanks, so it just doubles as a Zenkai buff. But then Bardock is also a Zenkai buff for him. Pretty good team, pretty good synergy. Having the revival layer is super good, and of course you get the full health regens when you fuse into the Fusion Warriors accordingly. Now let's go into what you could otherwise have if you didn't want to run this. Now I'll go into my character list and just show you what Fusion Warriors has. So let me change my tag here to Fusion Warriors, and I'll turn on the ultras as well. So looking at it, the blue, you're obviously going to run Vegito, Super Vegito. No other blue is worth your time. Looking at the greens, Pycon's the best option, but you can run G4, don't sleep on him. He's not the best, but he is a good second option if you don't have Pycon. Going into purple, UGB can be good, but I'll also mention that SV over here could be a good HP buffer when you get into 14 stars, but he's also a Zenkai buffer for Purple Saiyan. So if you're using UGB in the same way that I use Gold Tanks to buff Gogeta Blue, you could use SV to buff Ultra Gogeta Blue, so bear that in mind. Going into yellows, obviously you want to be using Gogeta Blue, but I guess you could sneak Ultra Super Vegito. I'd only advise if you have him 12 stars or higher. And then for red, Ultra Vegito Blue and Super 17. Now with the team I'm using right now, if I wanted to just amend it, the only thing I'd really change is putting Ultra Vegito Blue on the team, and then I'd probably add red Vegito and swap him out for maybe Bardock, so that he's getting a Zenkai buff that way. So this team is all Fusion Warriors as well in the same way. I might maybe, would I change it up? Nah, I'd probably keep it like this anyways. I guess I could change it up a bit depending on who I wanted to Zenkai buff, because as you guys know, Gogeta over here, he's not a Vegito unit, so he won't be getting the max out of Vegito's Z ability here, character Vegito strike attack 20%. He won't be getting that, so maybe I might want to put him on the leader slot, but then I would miss 5% from Nameku. So then unless I don't want to Zenkai buff Vegito over here at all that way, I'd have to make that substitute if I wanted to use Ultra Vegito Blue. So just an option, a possibility that I'm showing you for team building. But if I was running Fusion Warriors, I like this team here. I think this is the most optimal build because Pycon and the revival layer is just super protective more than anything else. But that's going to be the first team I'm mentioning for this video, Fusion Warriors. You should have just knew they were going to be here. It's a super good team. Love the team right now. I've always loved the team. It's a super fun team as well. So yeah, let's get into the next team. Number 2 in this list, we got Son Family. Son Family was always going to make this list, and they've been on top for quite a while right now. They kind of faded away because of the powerful opponents, but Ultra Gohan has been keeping them alive. And with the new release of these Fusion Warriors who are also Son Family members, it's actually insane because they're actually Son Family members. This team here has only gone up in stock. So you got both Fusion Warriors that have been Zenkai buffed. So we got Gold Tanks who's actually Zenkai buffing them because they're a Fusion Warrior. But Gold Tanks also, coincidentally, HP buffs on his Z ability to Hybrid Saiyan. So even if I didn't have Ultra Gohan on the leader slot, I do have him on the leader slot, so he's getting it 100%. He would still get the HP buff, which is dope. But then both Fusion Warriors over here, Gogeta and Vegito, get the HP buff. Here we've got a Zenkai buff for Ultra Gohan, Son Family, and the Z ability works for Son Fam, which is everybody on the team. Then also over here we got Namek Goku, who's just Zenkai buffing Vegito specifically, but the Z ability is Saiyans, so then Gogeta also gets it as well. But then Ultra Gohan's on the leader slot, so there's no crossovers over there. Very good team overall. This is not the only way to build it, but let's look at what pieces Son Family has in case you don't have this exact team. So we're looking at the blue options here, right? Blue Pan, good Zenkai buffer option. Z ability is not the best, but good Zenkai buffer option, of course. Looking further, we got Bardock and Goku can be used. Super Saiyan Goku, if you got him decently high stars and you add his plat. Bomku more so than the last two, that he's actually really good. If we're going into the greens, Ultra Gohan, I've already mentioned him, and everybody else, maybe, no, not maybe, this guy here can actually be used. So I've seen some people run kind of a hybrid Saiyan team, but it's pretty much still Son Family. You pick most likely Gogeta blue and you run double green. This Revival Gohan, you've got Ultra Gohan for endurance, then you've also got Gogeta blue, which is Gogeta blue, the fusing unit, so that's good. All the other greens I wouldn't really recommend, but I guess you have Super Saiyan 3 Goku as a Zenkai buffer for he'd be a Zenkai buffer for any Saiyans that you want to use. So if you wanted to use like Evo Ken, which I do not recommend, but I'm just putting that out there. Cool. Purple, we got Gold Frieza, 14 stars. If not, put it to bed, to be honest. Purples are not looking good, but hey, option's an option. The yellows is really stacked, so obviously we got Gogeta blue, then we got UI Goku can be Zenkai buffed by 4Q as well. I'm Zenkai buffing using Gotenks, but you could also use Bardock. He's not Son Family, but he's a Zenkai buffer nonetheless. And then in the reds, Beast and Pan. The rest really just stink. But if I'm going to run Son Family, this is the most ideal setup that I've got right here. It's also the most optimal. Obviously you could change the Zenkai buffs accordingly to however you want to run, but easily the best team that you can run. I think it's one of the best teams in the game actually. So yeah, number 2 on this list, we got Son Family, very popular team, very solid team as well. Next up we got Saiyans. Saiyans is basically Son Family, but there is a few different pieces, and we're going to assume you're running 3 specifically Saiyans, even though you could have Son Family members that are still Saiyans, such as Goku and Bardock, which is also Son Family member. But cool, let's look at Saiyans right here. In this team, we've got a double Zenkai buff for both Vegito and Bardock and Goku, because Blue Pan here is a Zenkai buffer for Son Family, as you can see. Blue is Son Family, and then Namek, same thing, Zenkai buffer for Saiyans, which is obviously what we're looking at here. And then we've got one Zenkai buff for over here, Gogeta blue with Gotenks, but he also doubles as a HP buff, and because Bardock and Goku are on the leader slot, they're going to get the HP buff, but only Gogeta blue gets the Zenkai buff. So that's what I've got here comprised here, but let's look at all the other options, and Saiyans has quite a few options, and I'm going to show you another build, because you've probably seen on the screen already, this team doubles as Vegeta Clan, and I think Vegeta Clan is also 100% a top 5 team. But let's go into it. So I'm going to go to my character list first. Let's look at the options. I've got Charlotte here as a HP buff. You could also use Blue Raditz, but then there's no point if you could use Gotenks if you're going to be running Gogeta and Vegito, the new ones. We've got Bardock and Goku. Bomku could be used. Obviously Vegito over here, and the Super Saiyan Goku if you have his plat and maybe have him at 9 stars or higher. Going to greens, Pycon, G4, I mentioned them on Fusion Warriors. Pretty good options. Use Super Saiyan 3 Goku as a Zenkai buffer. Broly as well, don't sleep on him. I've seen a lot of people say he's good. He's actually valid. His combo potential is pretty high. Going into purples, again, just go Frieza if you have him super high stars. Maybe you might want a leader slot, but then it becomes Fusion Warriors, so if you're using Ultra Gogeta blue. Going into yellows, we've obviously got Gogeta blue, Ultra UI, you got your Zenkai buffers, Son Fams over here, Bardock over there. I'm using Gotenks because I wanted the HP buff. And then if we go into reds, over here, I guess Ultra Vegeta blue, but then it's just Fusion Warriors and Super Vegeta. Real sneak. It's a sneak there. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah. Also, I didn't mention Super Baby 2. This Goku is actually pretty decent, and Nappa, which is actually who I want to talk about next. So if you want to turn this team into still Saiyans but want to make it basically Vegeta Clan, what I advise you do is actually get Purple SV. If you have him 14 stars, put him on the team. Now you've got a double HP buff. These guys are Fusion Warriors, don't forget, so they're getting the HP buff. And then you take Bardock and Goku off, and I don't have Nappa and Vegeta to place there, so I'm going to use this guy as a placebo. Now you've got the revival layer and 2 Fusion Warriors that fuse, obviously get the full health. You've got a double HP buff and you've got a Zenkai buff accordingly. So in this case I'm using Namek to Zenkai buff Vegito, but if I want to go Gogeta to get that, it could have used this guy. I could have also used 4Q. Where is he? My eyes need to lock in. There we go. Like, there's so many options when building this team, it's insane. And it's still Saiyans, but this doubles as Vegeta Clan because Nappa and Vegeta is a Vegeta unit, you know. But then these guys also have the Goku and Vegeta, so it's a Vegeta unit too, Vegeta clan. It works super well. If you have Nap and Vegeta, I recommend you try it. Obviously you need the equips accordingly, but same way as Vegeta clan, now it just became, same way as Saiyan, sorry, it just became Vegeta clan. So you know, obviously the bench doesn't 100% merge that way, but the main 3 units you're using does make it Vegeta clan. So I want to double this Saiyans as Vegeta clan. That's going to be the 3rd team. I'm only going to use it as 1, even though it covers 2 grounds, but it's only because really and truly, if you don't have Nap and Vegeta and the whole bench is pretty much not Vegeta clan, the team wouldn't work if you didn't have Nap and Vegeta. So yeah, 3rd team of the list, Saiyans / Vegeta clan. Next up, we got powerful opponents. It's really up to you how you want to build this team, and don't think just because there's new Fusion Warriors in town that powerful opponent doesn't just cook all of a sudden. This team is still very dangerous, and depending on how people push it, of course it's going to do crazy damage. Now, I've got UI Goku on the leader slot because it works very well. Even last season before Fusion Warriors came out, I was running Ultra UI Goku on Super 17 and Cell team, double red and Ultra UI, and just having on the leader slot is a super safe option, I'm not going to lie. But then you could build the bench however you want to build it. So in this case, I've got Ultra Golden Frieza. Of course, I feel like he's a must-have, but then you could easily have Super 17 Red Cell to buff him. You know, you're building it that way around these two, and you're still powerful opponents. You know, if you had Super Baby 2, you could do that too. Then you could also make the whole team LOE. You could use Nappa and Vegeta, so it's Frieza Force. There's a lot of ways you can go about it, but let's look at the character list. I think it's easy if I do it that way. So we're looking at the blues here. Really and truly, am I missing anybody? The blues are not really cooking, so you're not going to be using a blue, but if anybody, Zamasu, just because he has endurance. Going into the greens don't really look like they're cooking besides from the new Broly. The Broly actually has quite a bit of potential. Let me look at his Zinobi, because I knew he's obviously a powerful opponent because I've changed my filter. He does also buff powerful opponents, so if you do want to use him, he can actually work. He's a very good counter to obviously Vegito as well. Going into the purples, Nappa and Vegeta is going to be your main man. Looking at the others here, Jiren could actually put in some work. Don't sleep on him. A lot of people actually do use him. His endurance factor, he's tanky, explosive green, and if you rush him, he gets endurance as well, which is obviously dope. Going into the yellows, Super Baby 2, I already mentioned him. I'm leader slowing Ultra UI in this case. And then in the reds, Super 17 and Cell. Besides from that, I think the rest are pretty much just washed. I wouldn't recommend any other powerful opponents, but you could also, if you don't want to use Ultra UI, right? So if I change my filter, take off the powerful opponent, you could easily have Ultra Gohan on the leader slot in the same way. Like, this is a more blast-based team besides from Ultra Golden Frieza, and you can see how it synergizes in the same way. In the same way I had Ultra UI on the leader slot. It really just depends on what you have or what you want to use, and then the rest is just down to what you want to build. So a lot of people go the LOE route. Where's first one Frieza? Let me find him. There he is. Go to the box, look at his Z ability, sorry, Lineage of Evil Frieza Force, and then it's Frieza Force. And then if we look at the character I don't have, you guys know who I'm talking about, Nappa and Vegeta. Look at their tags as well, they're getting a free Zenkai buff from that works. Next up, you put Chilled on there for the HP buff. I don't think Chilled buffs Frieza Force, but let me fact check that. I think he might buff purple actually. Let me see. It's Lineage of Evil specifically, so Nappa and Vegeta wouldn't get that, but of course it's useful for the main man on the team, Ultra Golden Frieza. UI on the leader slot is just overkill as well. It really just depends on what pieces you have to build it. So I don't have the best pieces, as you can see. I'm missing Nappa and Vegeta, Super Baby 2. I only really have Super 17 and Cell, which is the main way I would build it. So I would use Super 17. Let me put Cell on. I would go, I think I can go 8 Vegeta because I think he's Zenkai boss powerful opponent, which is like super unnecessary. Should have just made it Saiyan, but it's cool. That would actually be overkill as well. Saiyans is insane as well. But then I'd put Omega Shenron and Fusion 13. Where is he? Where's Omega Shenron? I cannot find it. There he is. So that's a 4 times Zenkai buff for Super 17. 3 times Zenkai buff, what, 4 including himself, and then UI's on the leader slot, so he gets all the Z abilities anyways, and the team just flourishes. This is what I was running last season, but you might want to go the Ultra Golden Frieza route, and even put Super Baby 2, Ultra Golden Frieza, and Super 17 to make a disgusting powerful opponent team. But yeah, powerful opponents is still on the list. Do not sleep on them just because you're not seeing them as much. Everybody's enjoying their new toys. Toys is crazy. Fusion Warriors. Okay, so I'm recording this last segment on a different day for multiple reasons, but that doesn't matter for you guys. You just want to see the team. We got Sagas from the movies here. Now, this team is a very good team and it's worthy of mention. However, a lot of people have been saying I'm a hater of Sagas from the movies. I'm not a hater of Sagas from the movies. I just think the other teams are definitely better. And most of the units you would use in the meta right now would be used on those teams I've already mentioned: Fusion Warriors, Sun Family, and Saiyans. Powerful opponents as well, with a few exceptions, but movies is just right there. Honestly, it's worthy. That's why it's on this list. So we've got on this team Ultra Golden Frieza. Yes, he's a movies unit, but just put him on the leader slot for the Ultra ability. We got him 1-time Zenkai buff, which is dope. And as you can see, you've also got Pikkon. He's not getting any Zenkai buffs, but Gogeta, I skipped him. Gogeta Blue, he's getting double Zenkai buffed with a HP buff, which Pikkon also gets because Gotenks is a Fusion Warrior. So Pikkon's a Fusion Warrior too, so it works. So the HP buff is for the team. Golden Frieza eats off that, but then the double Zenkai buff goes towards Gogeta Blue. Pikkon doesn't need a Zenkai buff. He's like the third, but he's a revival unit, so double revival. And then we got Gogeta Blue, of course, it just makes sense. But let's look into other options that we got in movies. So I'm going to set it to Ultra and Sparking, then go to Episode, go to Sagas from the movies, and we got the options here. So for blue, you want to run Janemba if you do want a blue, or you could just leader slot Vegito. That's another option. All the other blues are pretty much dead. Going into green, run Pikkon, the new Broly, or Orange Piccolo. Those are your main three. In the purple section, Ultra Gogeta Blue if you don't have Ultra Golden Frieza, but really and truly, if you don't have Ultra Golden Frieza, wouldn't say run the team, pick a different team, low key. Then in yellows, we've obviously got Gogeta Blue. Gammas, 14 stars potentially, but I wouldn't recommend. And then in the red, it's obviously going to be Beast Gohan, or if you want to go a supporting role, it's Pan. Pretty much that's the team. I think this is the best variation of movies that you could run. I ran this team and it's super, super good. You could use... The reason why I'm advising you use Pikkon is because of the equip, so you can get pures. It's the Pikkon Otherworld Warrior equip with Sagas from the movies. It says like humph, and it has Gogeta on the front of it. But yeah, Sagas from the movies, that's the last team for this video. I think it's a super good team. Let me know what you guys think, man. Unfortunately, no honorable mentions, but these 5 teams, technically 6 if you include the Vegeta clan with the Saiyans, are very good teams in PvP right now. They are super overpowered teams carrying Fusion Gogeta and Fusion Vegito. Very, very good units, and honestly the takeover is absolutely insane. It's not that just they're fun, but they're also super, super good with all the abilities they bring in full health, Vanish Restore, healing, you know, the cover no, the rise and rush guarantee kill, and the counter ignore. There's so much, man, and this is the best way they could have possibly started the anniversary, man. Shout out the 6th anniversary. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.